we're actually gonna smack that Siphi with an A3. Check this out. 107k and so freaking powerful that I don't kill one champion with a hit, I kill two champions with a single hit skill. That's how powerful this epic champion is. Hello everyone, I'm Skratch, welcome to the channel. This will be another Raid Shadow Legends video. We are currently on the test server, so if you see me being a millionaire in gems, it's because they're not mine, okay? I don't owe them, they're just the test server. Whatever happens on the test server stays on the test server. Now, I'm here because I want to try an epic champion. I've heard you guys talking about this epic champion for quite a long time. I think Ash did a video on the champion as well, and you know what? I really think I should have a look at the champion as well. And no, I am not talking about Alika, but you know what? She is a very strong epic champion, and I do think they are very, very similar. The epic champion that I'm talking about is Dirandil. Now, when they added the champion to the game, I don't think I actually had a chance to try him out, basically, you know? So we're gonna do that in today's video, and I'm gonna explain you why he might be one of the best DPS epic champions in the entire game. Like, his kit is actually solid, man. Like, he brings lots of firepower. So with A1, attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 20% chance of placing a freeze debuff for 1 turn. The chance increases to 30 if the attack is critical, which most probably is going to happen if you are building the champion for damage. With A2, dispatch them. On a 3-turn cooldown, attacks all enemies. Will ignore 15% of each target's defense. Fills this champion's turn meter by 10% on each critical hit. I can explain how powerful a skill like this can be with the multipliers that this champion has. Comparing him with other champions in the game that do a similar thing, like the multipliers and everything on him are actually top notch. And you're getting the turn meter as well, and is on a 3-turn cooldown, which makes it even crazier. The A3, called Royal Assassin, attacks one enemy, will ignore 50% of the target's defense, places a perfect veil buff on this champion for 2 turns if the hit is critical, on a 3-turn cooldown, which makes it even better. We do have a crit rate aura for all battles. Now, affinity wise, yes, he's not void like Gambo, for example. He is force, but he can bring in a lot of work. And some of you guys might be like, why don't I just want to use a Foley, right? Why don't I just want to use a Foley over Dirandil? Well, Dirandil is actually better than Foley. Dirandil is actually better than a lot of legendary nukers in the game, just for the simple fact that in the current state of the game, in the current meta, ignoring defense is so important, and he actually does that very well. Similar multipliers with a champion like Foley, for example, but he ignores defense while Foley doesn't. Of course, Foley blocks revive with the A3, so you can't really compare them on a back-to-back thing. But honestly, I feel like this champion will surprise you a lot if you haven't actually tried him out yet, as he surprised me. So if we're quickly gonna check the build, I have him on a lethal and a crit damage set. Total stats, I have 30k HP, 6000 attack, 2.6k defense, 184 speed, 101 crit rate, 260 crit damage. Now, you've noticed I don't actually have a blessing on him at the moment. If I would have a high awakening blessing, most probably I would go either with a phantom touch, I would go with something that will actually allow me to drop in more damage. Crushing Grind will be the perfect one in my opinion at 6-star, but most of us won't be having 6-star blessings on our champion, so I would be happy even with something a bit lower, and that's when I would actually go with Phantom Touch over Crushing Grind, because the value is overall much better, you know. In terms of masteries, you can go with support or defense. Of course, you're gonna have to go with the offense tree. It's kind of like a no-brainer, that's the dominant part. But then you kind of have like 2 different options, you know. So if you just want to use him for arena, you can go with defense. If you want to use him to get a cheeky freeze every now and then, you want to use him in faction wars, you want to use him on the waves to just completely obliterate them, then I would go with support. Just gain a bit of extra accuracy, since I haven't built a champion with a lot of accuracy, and go all the way down to Cycle of Magic, and of course you can get lasting gifts. This will help you with a veil, you know, with the A3. And this will be the masteries that I would personally pick, because I want to do like an all-around build. Maybe sometimes I would prioritize to give him more accuracy from the amulet. Now, I do want to kind of like have a look at him and compare him a bit with one of my favorites, which is Alika, for example. They do very similar things. So Alika with the A1 has a chance to place an extra hit. With the A2 attacks one enemy, will ignore 50% of the target's defense, the exact same thing that the other champion does. And this is an AoE attack, doesn't ignore defense, is actually increasing the cooldown of all enemy skills by 2 turns. Think about Basher, kind of like a mini warlord sort of a thing, and that's actually very nice for crowd control. So she definitely gets more points on this. I do have Crushing Rand on her at the moment. So if we're quickly gonna check the multipliers on the champions, if you head over to Aftershock United.gg, guys, you're gonna be able to pretty much find whatever you guys need in there. You can go to champions right here and just put Alika first. So let's have a quick look at Alika, open a new tab, and we have Dirandil, right? So if we're gonna head over to him as well. So basically the multipliers are the following. On the A1, attacks one enemy 2 times, so that's an 1.8. On the AoE attack is a 3.9 with ignore defense, guys. This is actually solid, like legendary champions don't have this in the game. With the A3 is a 5.8 multiplier on a single target, ignores 50% of the target's defense. This is already better than Eilil, for example. Now, if we're gonna have a quick look at Alika, she does tend to have slightly better multipliers. On the A1 is a 4.2, so it's slightly better. On the A2 is a 6.3, is better by quite a bit. And on the A3 is a 4-point multiplier. Now, she doesn't ignore defense, so this won't be better, but she is better at the crowd controlling, for example, you know. So we're gonna go on stage 23, guys. I do want to bring in Alika, and I don't want to undermine any of the champions. I don't want to put them on a head-to-head. I just want to give them a nice spotlight because I think both of them are very strong epic champions. I'm a big simp for Alika, so definitely try her out if you haven't yet. She's awesome. She does like to read quite a bit. So I'm going to show you the total stats on her quick. 6.1k attack. She has around 50 more attack than him. She has 3% more crit damage. And she does have Phantom Touch on, which I actually changed the blessing from Crushing Rand to Phantom Touch just to don't have a massive difference in damage, you know, because she will bring quite a bit of a wow because of Crushing Rand, you know. But let's jump straight into it and check a bit of damage, you know. Hopefully everything's gonna go spot on. We got increased attack, defense down, and weaken on both of the side targets. We got resisted on one, so we're gonna have to quickly come back at it just because I want to hit both of the same targets with each one of the champions. They're identical, and the other ones will have different defense, different HP, so it's gonna be pretty pointless to try and do that. But if we're gonna go in with Alika's A2, attacks one enemy, will ignore defense. She does have slightly better multipliers. 360k, guys, that is crazy. If we're gonna go in with his A3, ignores 50% of the target's defense, slightly less multipliers, but he has the perfect veil, which I do think is a plus. 319k. And here is always the thing that maybe Hand Smasher didn't proc, maybe something else happened, you know. But still, very, very impressive numbers from both of these champions, man. Yes, the question will be the following. Skratch, I have both of these champions. Which one of them should I build? It's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard because Alika with a AoE increases the cooldown of skills, which can be very, very helpful, right? Like she can be used on 2 different things, either for damage, either for CC, and it's pretty good damage from there. And then we have this monster who can rotate his skills much faster because of the short cooldown and ignores defense, which will give you a better damage with the AoE, for example. Like, check that out. 190k, like, I forgot to change the speed on, but that was pretty solid. We're actually gonna come back in and try again just the AoEs. I do think they are very powerful, both of them, and especially if you need champions for Faction Wars, man, like, this is gonna be dangerous. Check this damage out. 138, 152, and we've put them all on cooldown. You see, pretty solid damage. And for the waves, you don't need to have a lot of accuracy, like 120, 130 accuracy with the right masteries that I've got that will boost your accuracy even more, will actually allow you to just control them like that. And great for Faction Wars, great for waves, you know. Let's speed it up a bit. We're gonna go A1 here. 172k, but I want to use the AoE attack now, so check this out. 130, 122, so pretty solid damage all around. I definitely think the Hammer Smasher didn't proc here, just judging by the difference in the damage. It should be making more damage than Alika with the AoE attack. That's 100%, just because of the ignore defense. 15% ignore defense is just a lot of value, you know, a lot of value. So let's just do that A1 again there, but this time around on the other side, and let's go again with this. Okay, much better. 167, 180k, and you can see actually the HP of the champions is much lower, and that's because he is doing more damage with that skill. So very impressive. I would definitely recommend you to build this epic champion if you pulled him, you know. So because I have the faction crypt open, guys, we're gonna go and take him in faction wars as well to see what he can do in here. Now I'm gonna run Mithrala, I'm gonna run a couple of rare champions. I don't wanna completely overpower the crypt. Let's use Cold Heart's A3 directly, so she cannot use it on that Black Knight, and let's click auto basically. So Kale coming with some solid damage. You know, Kale actually has very, very strong multipliers. Now I don't have enough accuracy on him. How I mentioned, I should kind of like give him a bit of more accuracy on the amulet. Look for a better amulet for him. That would actually help us quite a bit. But look at that damage, man. Like, he's just not messing around. And we had no defense down. We had no increased attack on him. He just went in and completely obliterated the enemy, you know, which is such a powerful thing to do. I'm curious to kind of like see the damage at the end in between him and Kale, you know. Kale is not on Savage, he's on a stun set. But still, Kale kind of like got the first hit in there, you know, so that's pretty interesting. There we go. Wrecking it. Absolutely wrecking it. And then we're gonna go to Arena, of course. Like, that's the main thing where we wanna see what he can do. And trust me when I'm telling you, if you're taking this bad boy in live arena, for example, and so many people will not know about how powerful he is, and they will probably get baited. You put in a Game Boy, you put in a different nuker in there, and they will get baited thinking that, well, that nuker is crazy. And then you bring him in and you're just macking people around, man. Like, just catching them off guard will give you such a good advantage, you know. So definitely keep that in mind as well, you know. Like, it's a good life advice, basically. 47k with the A1 right there. And we got Kale with 500,000 damage. Ghostborn, 500,000 damage. Dirandil with 700k. Mithrala, 210k. Cold Heart, 444k. And that's with the enemy max HP. I do think this is a pretty good result from the champion. Now, when we are talking about Arena, guys, keep in mind, I am on the test server. Some of the teams are too hardcore. Some of them are not that hardcore, but they still have OP champions. So we're going to have to make sure we are using some decent champions to don't just throw the fight, basically. There are a couple of things that you want to keep in mind when we are talking about Dirandil. Rotos. You're going to encounter a lot of Rotoses in Classic Arena, Tag Team Arena. Well, guess what? He has a double hit on the A1, which makes him a pretty good contender at killing Rotos. When we are talking about Mortu Macab, yes, we are weak affinity against Mortu Macab. We can risk to weak hit, but the good part is that his A3, when he crits, is gonna give him a perfect veil, which will actually ensure that Mortu Macab is not gonna use the peril and block the revive on him. Now, I didn't mean that you're gonna hit Mortu with the A3, you're gonna weak hit and you're gonna get a crit. That's not gonna work. But when you're gonna use the A3 on a different target, and you're gonna crit, you're gonna get a perfect veil, then you have the A2 available to help you kill Mortu Macab, basically, okay? So don't weak hit expect to get the veil, because it's not going to be the way it works. Let's give it a go and see how this team actually is gonna play out. 2 Spirit Champions. I'm a bit scared for myself in here, because if we're getting too many weak hits, it can definitely go south pretty damn quick, you know? So let's just do that with Cardiel, put the immunity, the cleanse, and please do not weak hit. Please. Oh, baby. 166k damage. Duchess, get down. Like, literally, she stood no chance. And you know what? Let's go and give a tickle to this Mortu Macab. Hopefully, it's not going to be a weak hit. Oh. I'm leaving from here. That was it, guys. That was it. Beautiful. Beautiful. And yes, you can get weak hits. You know what? But we didn't got them. And check that out. That Tormin was protected by Necret, and we just smacked him as well with the AoE attack. Pretty solid, actually. Beautiful. So I'm actually pretty impressed. Dirandil 218k damage. Let's find a different team where we have Rotos. Now, because we are going against Rotos, I will kind of like need to bring in a Necret just to keep him alive a bit in case if he counterattacks or in case if he's much faster than my champion, which most probably will be the case. I need to kind of like hide him, or I could go in with the Duchess instead. Let's see if we have a different team that doesn't have Warlord in there. Layla Fox, and we have quite a few tanky champions in there, which could be pretty interesting. Or can we find something else? Let's do another refresh and we're just gonna call it from there. So we have Layla there, and that's probably with a fast Warlord in there, so we're just gonna be a bit annoyed, and is a UDK. So let's go against this and see how will he actually perform against the Rotos. Now I'm gonna try to strip the shield that the team will have. Let's see if he might actually kind of like cut on me by the looks of it. You know what? Let's actually just go in and ally attack that Siphi, man. Okay, so she's feared. Okay, what's happening? Okay, I knew that might happen. But you know what? He has defense down, and we have the A1 attacks one enemy 2 times. Beautiful. Now, it wasn't the tankiest Rotos. Was not probably the best example, the best team to pick. But with the team that I actually have available at the moment, I decided to go and target him, you know. So right now, this can be a bit of a pickle. You know what? Let's try to drop a bit the turn meter if we can. And let's do it again. But this time around, let's go in big with the AoE attack. Ooh, baby. Krisk went down. That's fine. We got a bit dragged there by Siphi. She put us to sleep a bit too much because we kind of lost some serious HP. But that's fine. We have block debuffs, which will allow us to stay safe. Siphi won't be able to crowd control us. And once we're gonna get our turn, we're actually gonna smack that Siphi with an A3. Check this out. 107k, and I'm so freaking powerful that I don't kill one champion with a hit. I kill 2 champions with a single hit skill. That's how powerful this epic champion is. Now, what a good ending to the video. Like, that's it. That means to put a champion in a good spotlight. Honestly, leaving the joke on the side, I am very impressed with the epic champion. This was actually pretty cool to end the video like this. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How many of you guys were already using the champion? How many of you guys are using Galika? And much love. Appreciate all of you guys watching. I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.